There are records in football that feel permanent, untouchable, records you assume will outlive everyone watching. The most goals ever scored in the history of the World Cup was one of them, a number that had stood since 2014, set by a German machine of a striker, and most people quietly assumed it would sit there for decades. On Monday night in Dallas, 2 days before his 39th birthday, Lionel Messi knocked it over like it was nothing. 2 goals against Austria, one record, gone. The biggest individual record in World Cup history has collapsed. So let's talk about exactly what happened, and why this might be the most absurd entry in a career already overflowing with absurd entries. Here's the number. 18. Lionel Messi has now scored 18 goals across his World Cup career, moving 2 clear of Miroslav Klose, the Germany striker, whose 16 had stood as the all-time men's record since 2014. To put that in company, Brazil's Ronaldo is third on 15. Gerd Müller and Kylian Mbappe are tied on 14. The men chasing this record are some of the greatest finishers the sport has ever produced, and Messi just left all of them behind on a Monday afternoon, at an age when most footballers have long since retired. But the way it happened is what makes it pure Messi, because for about half an hour, it looked like the record might have to wait. Argentina were awarded a penalty inside the first 10 minutes. The perfect storybook way to break the record. A spot kick, the whole stadium holding its breath, the GOAT stepping up to make history from 12 yards. And he missed. A stuttered run-up, and the ball sailed wide of the right post. The record denied by his own foot. Messi admitted afterward he was, in his words, really angry about it. And then he did what he's done his entire life. He turned frustration into history. In the 38th minute, a flowing Argentina move, Thiago Almada cleverly dummying a low cross by letting it run through his legs. And there was Messi, arriving unmarked just inside the box, sweeping a first-time finish into the bottom corner. Klose's record was equaled and beaten in a single touch. The sea of Argentina shirts in Dallas erupted, his name echoing around the stadium. 4 decades after Maradona, the country's latest number 10 was writing his own chapter. Then, deep in second-half injury time, with the game already won, he added a second from a tight angle, firing through a cluster of Austrian defenders after the keeper had pushed away Argentina's first effort. 2-0, 18 goals. And fittingly, he reflected afterward that maybe if he had scored that early penalty, he would not have gotten the other 2 at all. Even his misses end up part of the legend. Now let's zoom out, because the headline number, 18, doesn't even capture how strange this achievement really is. Because the truly mind-bending part isn't the total. It's when he scored them. 12 of Messi's 18 World Cup goals have come after he turned 35. 12. More than 2/3 of the most prolific World Cup scoring career in history has happened in the years when footballers are supposed to be fading, slowing, winding down. He turns 39 this Wednesday. He has an ailing father back home. He's playing his club football in Major League Soccer now, a league a level below the European elite. And he is still the top scorer at this entire World Cup, with 5 goals in just 2 games. Because don't forget how this tournament started for him. Argentina's opener was a 3-0 win over Algeria, and Messi scored all 3, a hat trick. The first World Cup hat trick of his entire career, the 11th hat trick of his international career overall, and it came on his 200th appearance for Argentina. And here's the detail that makes you stop and stare. That hat trick landed exactly 20 years to the day after his World Cup debut. June 16, 2006, an 18-year-old kid scored against Serbia and Montenegro. June 16, 2026, a 38-year-old legend scored 3 against Algeria. 2 decades, book-ended to the day, by goals. That hat trick pulled him level with Klose. The Austria double sent him past. 5 goals in 2 matches at 38 years old. It was his 6th World Cup, which itself is a record. He is the first man ever to play in 6 different editions of the tournament. Monday's game was his 28th World Cup match, also a record. Klose, for comparison, played 24. And there is a poetic cruelty in it for the German because Klose's last World Cup act was winning the 2014 final against Messi's Argentina. Now Messi has taken his record too. He also joined an even rarer club on Monday. By scoring against Austria, Messi became just the 3rd player in World Cup history to score in 6 consecutive World Cup games, following France's Just Fontaine in 1958 and Brazil's Jairzinho in 1970. They are names from the black and white era of football, and Messi, in 2026, stands alongside them. His 18 goals even moved him past Marta, the Women's World Cup record holder on 17. So for this moment, Messi is simply the leading World Cup goal scorer of all time, full stop. And the most frightening thing for everyone else? He is not done. Argentina have already qualified for the round of 32 with this win, sitting top of Group J with 6 points on an 8-match World Cup winning streak that stretches all the way back to their recovery from that shocking loss to Saudi Arabia in 2022. The defeat started the run that ended with them lifting the trophy. They have still got a group game against Jordan to come, and then the entire knockout stage. Every match from here is another chance for Messi to push the record further out of reach, to a number that might genuinely never be caught. Though there is one man already eyeing it. Kylian Mbappe, just 27 years old, sits joint 4th on 14 World Cup goals, with this tournament and presumably several more ahead of him. If anyone on the planet has the time and the talent to one day chase down 18, it is him. But that is a problem for a future World Cup. Right now, today, the record belongs to Messi, and he keeps adding to it. So let's appreciate what we're actually watching here, because we won't see it again. A player who scored his first World Cup goal as a teenager when the current stars were children, who failed to score at all in an entire World Cup back in 2010, who carried his country to glory in 2022 with 7 goals, including 2 in that unforgettable final, and who is now at nearly 39 in what is almost certainly his final World Cup, still the best goal scorer the tournament has ever seen. He's not hanging on for nostalgia. He's not a ceremonial passenger being carried by younger legs. He has scored every single one of Argentina's goals at this World Cup. He is dragging the defending champions through this tournament, breaking century-old records on the way, 2 days short of his 39th birthday. The biggest record the World Cup had just collapsed, and the man who knocked it down summed up the whole thing in one word when asked how it all unfolded: spectacular. So what do you think? Is 18 a number that ever gets beaten? Or is this the record that finally lasts forever? And can Messi drag Argentina to back-to-back World Cups one last time? Drop it in the comments and subscribe if you want World Cup coverage that's there for every record, every goal, and every moment of history.